Chapter 6, Road Placement Tools. We're going to use the Place Road Tools. So we're going to open up ConceptStation, and we're going to go into the Bighorn project that we've been working in. And we're going to place a road right in this area, right along Bighorn. And we're going to place it down through here, and we're going to end up putting a roundabout in at that location. Okay, so we're going to use some roundabout tools as well. Okay, and we're going to have our start of the road up there. So over here on the left hand side, we're going to go over into the road placement tools, and we're going to pick on road. And once we do that, we're going to have this box pop up that allows us to pick what kind of a road class that we're placing. So we've got a rural local road, and that kind of sets some defaults in there. We're going to set our speed at 45, and we've got a couple of ways to do profile: best fit or straight. We'll let that do best fit. It can use spirals or not. And then up here at the top, we're going to choose what our template is. Okay, we've got all these different templates that we can use. We're going to go into the 2-lane. We created that Bighorn in chapter 5, so we're going to go into Bighorn, and we're going to use our 2-lane with shoulders that we created. Okay. And the start of our roadway was here, so we're going to go ahead and left click there. And you're basically left clicking every PI that you want out there. So there's your first PI. Kind of roll down here, and I'm using the middle mouse button and scrolling. There's your next PI. Your middle mouse button, if you hold it down, will allow you to move the map, kind of like the pan tool. Okay, and we'll come on down a little bit further here, pick our next PI. Okay, then we'll slide the map down. We'll do our end point at that location right there, just before the existing roundabout. Then we're going to right click out on the screen, and that's going to finish our roadway out. If you zoom into it, you can kind of see what it's doing there. It's creating a roadway based on the template that we created. So we could modify that template to change anything about that we wanted. That selection tool in the upper left up there, when you get that tool, you can go out and select on the roadway. And when you select on the roadway, it's going to highlight that roadway for you all the way down through there, and you're going to see at our PIs now we have a default radius that we can click on. Just left click on it and change that. You can type in what you want, or you can actually drag these little points for the PC and PT. You can actually drag those out to where you want them to go. You can move the PI as well, and it will also change that alignment. If we scroll down a little further, you can kind of see down here at the bottom, we've got a profile in there. Now it kind of just did a best fit, what it thought was the best fit profile, and it's never a very good fit that I've seen so far. So what we can do is modify that by left clicking on it. When you left click on it, you can drag or move the points that are on this profile. So there's one here at the end. You can right click on that profile and add or insert a PVI, and you can left click on it again, and you can adjust that vertical intersection. So you can move it down or up, and it will change that slope that comes in and goes out. You also got a K value, and all of that information can be modified and changed. You can actually left click on it as well and make changes. But I'm going to right click and insert another PVI here. Do the same thing. I'm going to raise it up a little. You can see the snap button. It's trying to snap to the existing ground that's out there. That's the green line is the existing ground, and this white line is the new one. So you can modify these vertical curves with the points that are on it, or left click on them and type in a new number Left click on them, type a new number if you want. So on this one, 95, I left click on it. You can see down here at the bottom it shows up. It doesn't always show up on the screen. Sometimes you can click on it and you just have to type and hit enter and it'll adjust it. The higher up in the profile it is, it seems like it will show. The lower it is, it will not show. As you move along the profile, you can still make all the adjustments that you want. I can adjust the end up to meet kind of the existing ground. And maybe I'll add in another vertical intersection here. Drag that around and place it where I want it. Trying to kind of match existing ground a little bit here. So I'm going to bring it back up, insert a PVI, bring it up, and then I'm going to take a look at this location here, insert a PVI, and I'll drag that kind of down in this spot here. Okay, so as you can see, you can add as many PVIs as you want in there. The vertical curves can't overlap each other. It won't allow that to happen. So it does have that kind of built into it. But you can make all these changes to make these vertical curves something realistic. Like on this one, 75 foot on this one. Okay. You can also adjust the slopes if you want to instead of adjusting the curves. Okay. So I'll change that one to 3.5. Just typed it in. So now I got a profile that looks decent through there. And as you're moving along your mouse along in the profile, you can see in the top window a line will appear at that location. Across the top here, you also have, instead of profile, you can go to cross-section view. That's that next tab there. So in my top window, you can kind of see it at the top of the window up there, going down as I advance through the cross sections. Okay. So it also gives the stationing along there. You can kind of see it now coming down towards the ramp locations. You can see what it looks like there. Can't make adjustments there. All you can do is look at that one. You also have then the ability to turn on and off things. So right now the road is on out there. I can turn off the pavement markings just by clicking on markings and I won't see those. And then I still have my saved views out there. I also have quantities now. I would have to refresh that. We're going to talk about quantities a lot more later, but that's what that one allows you to do, is take a look at some quick pricing for the road that I just put in there. Okay, so we're going to go to the backstage now, and we'll look at geo coordination services, and what we're going to do is we're going to download existing road data. So there's a roadway option there. If you put a check mark in there and go to the next, it's going to go out and look for existing road data. So we're going to go download and import. It's going to go download that, and it's importing that currently. And once that's finished, then it will go ahead and import. Now it doesn't know the road names or anything like that, but it will give it roadway information. So if you highlight each one of those and kind of hover over them, you can tell that it actually brought even the existing roadway underneath the new road that I drew. And if you zoom in the profile, you'll see that roadway that we brought down actually shows in this light blue color. So if your profile for your current roadway overlaps or intersects another roadway, it'll display in the profile view. Okay, in the profile view, you can also stretch it up or down just like you can regular GeoPack profiles. You have the ability to exaggerate the vertical, but you can kind of see what the existing roadway looks like right underneath of the mainline roadway that I put in. Okay, small little break there in the existing roadway. Now, if you want to get rid of that roadway that's out there that came underneath of it, you can highlight that roadway and just hit this delete button. And what that'll do is it'll go out and delete that roadway underneath of my main line that I drew. Okay, so you don't have one road right over the top of another. So I'm going to kind of do that for this down here. And you can tell when you click on it, whether it's the new or the old, you can't modify existing roadways at all. So that alignment name is roadway 88. So it doesn't know what it is. It just gives it a name. So I'm going to go in here and take a look at the roadway that I drew. It actually does have more information that you can adjust on it. So that's kind of the difference between those. I can also change what it's using. So right now I've used that one under Bighorn. I can hit those triple dots and I can change this to a different type of roadway. So I can scroll down through here and say that I want to use one with a berm on it. So I picked that one, and it's going to go out and adjust that roadway and change it to that new one. So now that roadway now uses rural plus berm as its roadway template instead of the one that we created earlier. And it does it for the whole entire thing. Okay, down here where we want to put our roundabout, if I highlight the roadway in that area, you'll see the existing roads that are coming into that location. And what I want to do is raise up my profile to where I'm kind of at the same elevation as the roadways that are coming into it. So I raise that up a little bit, and then I can kind of zoom around a little bit. I can still go up there, take a look at this roadway. So at this location where there's a bridge, if I highlight my roadway, I can zoom out in my profile a little bit and I'll see how far up that bridge is from my new profile of my roadway. So they will display in there as well.